Ok. ¿En qué estamos, Sherlock Holmes? Este es como un Sherlock Holmes así picado Peaky Blinders. Me sirve. A la 1, a las 2 vendido. Lo último que hicimos fue terminar el caso de que nos solicitó Mycroft. ¿Cachai? ¿Qué pasa? Y además avanzamos un poquito en las compras de los muebles. Y eso. Y sacamos ahí su historia de... ¿Cómo se llama esto? El cuento de la casa vacía. Y eso. Ahora vamos a seguir con la historia original. Invitación de Vogel a la Galería de Arte. Mi querido Sherlock Holmes, como sin duda ya habrá adivinado, me gustaría invitarlo a deleitarse con mi exposición, no solo con el propósito de contemplar la belleza, sino también con una necesidad más general de su genio. Encontrará la Galería de Arte en el Caravanserai, en el cruce de Bazaar Road y Hermes Avenue, en la Old City, su amigo BB. Entonces nos vamos ahí. ¿Qué vamos a encontrar ahí? Recordemos que estamos tratando de buscar el... ¿Qué realmente sucedió con nuestra madre? Let's fucking go. Old City, Hermes Avenue. Hermes Avenue con Bazaar Road. Aquí. Oh, sorry que se me lagueó. Aquí. Caravanserai. Y la Galería de Arte debería estar... en la esquinita. Tiene que decir en algún lado Galería de Arte, ¿no? Barbería. Estoy yendo para otro lado, amigo. Aquí está. Esa tiene que ser.
Mr. Holmes, you came! Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific! I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
Describa lo ocurrido.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Qué bien esto también.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
El único con la
So
llave.
this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
Perfecto. Ok. Vamos a dar un toque. Tenemos. Anoche Vogel oyó un ruido. O Vogel oyó un ruido en la galería baja, pero no puedo comprobarlo bien. Vámonos. Dejo que pasando esta puerta, ¿no? Está la entrada, idiota. Almuerzo sobre la hierba, Edouard Monent. Un pito. Igual podríamos ver si encontramos
You
cositas aquí,
sure
¿no?
you don't like art, Sherry?
La aparición, Gustave Morieu. El origen del mundo, Gustave Courbet. Uy. Hermano. El papá Formoso y Esteban 6, Jean-Paul Lorenz. Ahora son... Tumba de víctima de suicidio. El Cristo amarillo. El espíritu guardián. Amor y dolor. Ya. Aquí tiene que ser, ¿no? Bajamos. Sala
Back home,
asesor.
we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
Está dando a pescar al tiburón, por mano de un idiota.
A simplistic attempt at provocation.
Encima está la sangre ahí mismo, por mano. Sala y Franco. Ya, 74 centímetros.
The left step's length is shorter than the right. It indicates that the walker was lame. Old, and hasn't been used for a long time. Closed with a metal bolt.
Por ahí entraron, pues, guacho.
Footprints. Size 9.5.
Vamos.
A true artist never shows an unfinished piece.
What the fuck?
Sherry, how about some company in that dreary chamber of yours?
Leave my loneliness unbroken, John.
Parece ligeramente movido. Y como que te escondiste ahí, Mira.
A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh, and its coal origin ruins the effect of the extra mundane.
Para mí que entró, se escondió y era. Oh, dejó la patada. Marco vacío, estamos.
Ugh, sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a thing. A Malpalbut.
Malpal, como palmol.
Coal fingerprints. I think we're looking for a man with a coal moustache.
Ok. ¿Y aquí?
The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Saturn devouring his sun. Grim composition.
Unflinching in its ferocity, yet somehow beautiful.
Ya, entonces. John y yo hemos accedido a la Galería Baja, la sala, vemos el montón de cenizas en la sala, encontramos... Ya, vamos a recrear la historia. Ah, pero el que la recrea es John. Yo pensé que la recreaba yo. Ya, claro. Lo normal. Ya. No, imposible. Imposible que sea él. Ay, ¿aquí qué había? Ya, en la sala localizamos un ataúd con huellas de carbón en la tapa. Alguien dejó huella de pisada de carbón en la sala de I. Franco. En el montón de ceniza en la sala encontramos solo un marco vacío y una colilla. Yo creo que eso es.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room. But the vandalism was a cover for the theft.
Ya. Vamos. Wellington de espaldas.
The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Ah, no leí lo que dijo. El declive, la decadencia, la muerte. ¿Qué es lo que pienso de... Abajo, ¿qué había? La muerte. Voy a poner la muerte.
It's a reflection on mortality. Nothing lasts forever, no beauty sustains itself, and everything succumbs to darkness. Am I right?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Aha.
El caso era trivial.
Mr. Vogel, I have confirmed that the intruder was an average-sized, flexible Malpal smoker with a limp. As it happens, the vandalism was a cover. The true intent was to steal a painting without your knowledge. The fact is, one of the pieces from the Wild Room is not in the wreckage.
What? That is extraordinary.
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
Ok, sobre el robo.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City, but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Y dale.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
A good story. Ok, Dirección de Mercurio. El cuadro que podrán robar, representa, dale, eso ya lo sabemos. Dirección... Vogel dice que el artista vive en alguna parte del sitio, pero no sabe exactamente dónde es. No importa porque para ello estamos. Bueno, estamos al lado del sitio, así que... Ah, pero esto me dice que tengo que ir a buscar Libraco. Y para esto, el mapa. Tendré que ir a... el ayuntamiento.
Do you know anything about this?
I can't help you with that, sir.
I can help you.
Guests of Cordona.
Yo pienso que puede estar acá.
Have you found anything helpful?
Archivo. Yari, ¿eres tú? Brígido. Distrito, All City. Profesión puede ser. Ciudadano. No. No, ya. Espera. Aquí no era donde tenía que ir, ¿eh? Aquí tampoco. Se supone que... no, las pistas. Búsqueda en los archivos, po. Y aquí dice archivos. La policía puede ser, cordona crónica. Ah, pero delante busqué.
He's even been putting up posters.
Vamos viendo por acá, amigo.
Stop the presses. Who is Cordona's handsome stranger? Or nosebagger spurns local life? Wait, no. Foppish foreigner hides dark past. Oh, you've made quite the impression already, Mr. Holmes. You care to tell your side of the story?
I'm quite certain I have no idea as to what you refer, and I am further certain I have no interest in indulging your gossip.
Gossip? The truth will come out, but will only be heard if told well. Scandal, daring-do, romance. These are the tools of every good journalist. Nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a great story. Young man, your tale will be told with or without you. My readers demand it.
You already knew my name and seem aware of my doings here in Cordona. I presume this newspaper is your little endeavor?
Yasmin Sertel, editor-in-chief of the Cordona Chronicle. Advocate of the free press, voice of the people, scourge of the silk stocking.
Charmed, I'm sure. As an advocate of the free press, I trust you'll permit me to consult your archives? There are gaps in my knowledge of Cordona.
Oh, so my work does have merit. Well, I think we can strike a bargain. I shall provide you access,
Hay
and
trato.
you let me keep writing about your exploits.
So be it.
Brooding bachelor builds bridges. Now that's character development.
I guess I owe you my gratitude.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes. They whisper such interesting things.
Ya. Gracias por dejarme entrar. Pum. All City. Ahí está. Reyerta en una venta de cuadros. La semana pasada nos ha deleitado con un nuevo escándalo relacionado con el círculo de alta sociedad. Todo comenzó en una venta de cuadros ya de los artistas locales denominados como la danza de la decadencia. El director de la editorial, The Lion, Daron Terwick, rompió idilio lanzando una silla a un artista decadente, Bonifacio Mercurio. Según declaró más tarde el señor, lo hizo porque el señor Mercurio lo deshonró. Este columnista la recuerda que hace poco vieron al señor Mercurio juntos en una cafetería. Y a la señora, jojo. Después un director de orquesta destrozó un cuadro sobre la cabeza del señor Terwick para proteger a su amigo Mercurio. Se inició entonces una gran pelea en la que intervinieron muchos clientes. Después de la prolongada reyerta, llegó la policía que detuvo a los participantes y los mantuvo bajo vigilancia. Menudo acto. Como leal consejero personal de ustedes, les sugiero que adquieran un recuerdo a la venta. Por desgracia ya ha terminado, pero el mismísimo Bonifacio Mercurio invita a nuestros lectores a su casa. Eso quería saber. Donde podrán comprar uno de sus cuadros. Lo encontrarán en Hermes Avenue, entre Scarlet Street y Olive Street. Estamos. Scarlet Street y... Hermes Avenue. Ahí es. Gracias.
Mr. Holmes, I have something for you.
Ay, no, todavía no. Uy, si no me vaya a seguir mandando a hacer cosas. Reyerta en una venta. Podría llegar rápidamente por acá. Más para allá no puedo ir, entonces es por acá. Qué estúpido lo que hice. Ahora sí. Acá tiene que ser. En Scarlet Street y Hermes Avenue. Era Olive. Ah, Olive Street. Ah, ya pues ahí está. Es por acá. ¿Cuál es esta? Acá.
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, ma'am. I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass. No visitors allowed.
I wish to buy a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at home?
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind. Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead? Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only. If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you to the police.
Ok. Hay que disfrazarse. ¿De qué? De residente. ¿Y cómo me disfrazo de residente? Ni la menor idea. Con clase. Si tenemos que comprar un disfraz, vamos a tener que hacer bandidos. Vamos a ver primero cuánto necesitamos.
Don't pass by. Well, let's pick something that suits you.
Conviértete en burócrata. Criminal elegante. No. Oh. ¿Cómo lo hago ser de residente? Ah.
Don't leave. Take one more look.
No entiendo cómo puede ser como residente. Y voy de policía a los chorizos. Vamos a intentarlo, ¿eh?
Hello, officer. How can I help you?
Greetings. I'm investigating the theft of a painting by Mr. Boniface Mercurio. He lives here, I understand. May I talk to him?
Oh, how dreadful. But I suppose that means his work is finally being appreciated, doesn't it?
In a way, yes.
That's good. The news should please him.
No tuvimos que gastar
Thank you,
dinero.
Mom. So, where might I find him?
Find who?
Mr. Mercurio. His painting was stolen?
You must be new to the police service. You see, dear, there is a rule. No visitors allowed. This rule applies to policemen as well.
Mom, I am representing the law of this island. Please, let me through, otherwise...
Do you know how hard it is to become a landlady on an island ruled by men? And if you think that I'm just an old woman whom you can frighten with your uniform, you're very mistaken. I have a lot of connections. If you do something stupid, my dear, it will be the last thing you do on this island.
Uy, la vieja
Very well,
picachora.
Mom. I'll work it out another way.
Have a nice day, officer.
Hermano. Ese cupo ese. Ahora sí, ahora sí.
Good luck with your investigation, officer. Good luck with your investigation, officer.
Ya vamos a ser bandidos. El otro... Sí, aquí compro. Búscate el mercado, amigo. ¿Dónde está el que vende ropa? Aquí.
Take a look. Try it on. It'll be the finest clothes for the finest citizens.
Ya, ¿qué es lo que pasa? Aquí alquilamos. Ya, si lo alquilo no me cobra. No es malo. Y así nos disfrazamos de mi compa.
Please, bring it back in time.
Cacha, le doy el medio corte. Le doy el medio corte. Alquilar entonces no me cobra. Por la primera pista que hicimos fue al peo entonces. Al peo. ¿Me ve igual que él o no? Cach.
Boniface, sweetie. Is that you? Ah, old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake! How many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please, accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago, and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
Ya. La llave es del 2. Está muerto, ¿no? Oh, estoy yo aquí, estás tú allá. What the fuck. Lo primero es pillar qué pasó. Músculo de torso blando.
Judging by post-mortem rigidity, the body lay here for 1 or 2 days.
2 días, hermano.
The wound is precise. It was inflicted by a razor or a knife. Soaked in blood. It seems as if the puddle of blood was here before the rags.
El arma.
A normal kitchen knife. Could be the murder weapon.
El cadáver de Mercurio. Una cámara.
I wonder where he got that fancy camera. Despite the overall tendency towards mess, you cannot sit with the drawer pulled out like this. Someone left it after searching. It appears the wine was truly awful. The blood has dried.
I've heard of this style of painting. It is called expressionism.
No, este otro. Oye, cualquier pista.
The chest has been searched. Red skin, tails on the back. Reminds me of Werder's description of the stolen painting. Aunt May whiskey, brandy bucks. Quite a collection he had here. The photograph was not pulled out in time. Such a waste of material.
What the fuck?
Look at this, John. Isn't it our stolen demon?
Ya me dio miedo, hermano. Vamos, recreemos. Y ahora quién hace el trabajo, John, pues loco, John. Dale, John. No. Ahí sí. En el cadáver, cerca de la entrada, en el escritorio hemos hallado una botella rota, en el suelo había un cuadro, los cajones abiertos sugieren que han registrado el escritorio. Ya, ¿qué más? En el suelo había un cuadro cubierto de sangre. Por ahí va. Ahí le está sacando la foto. Ve que le están sacando el cuadro. Eso lo agarra, le pega el botellazo. No creo que se haya matado. Tiene que ser así. 1, 2 y 3.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Hay un cadáver en el suelo. Ya cerca de la entrada, en el escritorio hemos hallado una botella rota de vino y un marco roto con fibras azules. Si eso tiene que ser así. Esto de aquí, no sé. ¿Pero para qué le va a pegar este? Ahí sí podría ser.
Mercurio was developing photographs when the intruder snuck in. Mercurio heard him coming. While the thief was searching the chest, the painter ran towards him with a bottle in his hand. He smashed it across the thief's head. The intruder had no choice but to defend himself, and the weapon of opportunity happened to be a kitchen knife. Mercurio stepped aside to grab the painting, but the wine-blinded thief attacked Mercurio's throat. When the thief came to his senses, he saw Mercurio bleeding on the floor. He grabbed the rags and tried to bandage him, but it was too late. Why did Mercurio attempt to snatch the painting in the middle of a fight? To strike the intruder? Not with his painting, it was too important to him.
¿Por qué Mercurio quiso asir el cuadro en la mitad de la pelea? Entonces ahora nos vamos al Palacio de la Mente. El ladrón no perseguía el asesinato de Mercurio, ¿vale? Entonces, truco. Pues digamos, dale. ¿Será nomás? No habrá escuchado nada.
Do you know what makes a lady happy? Paid rent.
Ahora
It's
tengo que
time for
ver.
some chemical magic, John.
Idiota. Idiota. Vamos por ese análisis químico. Necesitamos 4. A ver. 4. Tenemos 3 reacciones. ¿Y esto qué hace? Se me hacen 4 y 3. Me faltaría 1 y 3. Tenemos 3, 4. Me falta una. Esto hace tum tum. Hace 3, 4, 3 y 1. 3 y 2, me falta 1 y 4. Se la estoy ocupando. Cuatro y 2. Me quedan 3. Pero quedan 6. Si tiro 2, hay 7. ¿Qué es esto? Ah, le agrega más 1 a cada uno. Ya, entonces estamos. Si le agrega más 1, tenemos que esto 4, 4, 2. Cuatro, 2, 4, pero me falta uno. Tengo 4 más 2. Estoy puro leseando, hermano. Ahí tengo 4. Aquí tengo 3. Aquí tengo 3. Así de fácil era. Ya, he conseguido eliminar la sangre del cuadro con productos químicos. Es un bodegón del apartamento de Mercurio. Entonces, ahora...
That doesn't look like the painting we need, Sherry.
As expected, but that doesn't mean it won't tell us anything. Let's put it on the easel where it belongs. I guess this is his most ordinary painting. Spot the two differences, John?
Falta esto, pues, guacho.
If the intruder didn't take it, the skull should be somewhere here.
Ahí está.
Monster was actually a man. Poor girl. John, you ought to be thrilled. We are now hunting the devil himself.
What were you saying, Sherry? I was too busy sketching the scene, you know, crimes and such like, daily routine. Did you find something?
A photograph. It depicts a man in a red suit with tails sprouting from his back and multiple people in masks watching the scene. It all adds up. But the act of love, it wasn't given willingly, John. It was a violation. And the girl, she was with child.
Give that to me now. Did you recognize someone?
No. Although the victim is not from Cordona, she is African. Look at the ritual scars on her face.
Get that image out of your brain. You have to continue the investigation.
I must speak to the landlady. Perhaps she saw or heard something.
Sherry, you cannot tell her the truth about Mercurio. It will hurt her.
John, that's illogical. Sooner or later, she will come here and discover a corpse, and I still need to talk to her.
Just avoid mentioning corpse, all right? Stick to the character, tell her to call the police.
I'll take that into account.
And wait here. I've redrawn the people in the photograph. Now you can proceed with your investigation without those horrific details.
Oh, no lo mostraron cómo son. Dibujo de John de una joven embarazada. Dibujo del agresor. Muerto sin saberlo. A John no le gusta la idea de contarle a la casera. Ya, le vamos a hacer un favor. Sugiere que sigamos fingiendo. Y esto... Vamos al toque.
What's wrong, dear? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Can you tell me if anyone else has recently entered the flat?
Oh, you're talking about that limping man. I'm sorry I let him in. I was scared. And I thought maybe he would motivate you to find money so that you would pay your rent. No offense, dear.
Can you describe him?
Oh, so you weren't at home. I was so certain you didn't leave your flat that day. He was of average height, had a limp and a tattoo on his neck, and he was smoking Malpal cigarettes. My husband used to smoke those. They have a horrible smell I can recognize from a mile away.
Can I ask a favor?
Of course, dearie.
Please call the police and ask them to enter the flat, and don't look inside until they come up.
What? What trouble have you stepped in this time?
It really doesn't matter. Thank you, Mum.
Whew, Sherry, that was close. But you did everything correctly. Now, take off your outfit. I can't let you walk around in a dead man's clothes.
Vamos. Ok. Tenemos entonces, pum pum, tenemos que colocarlo en el caballete. Parece que el cuadro no es una copia exacta de la habitación. Taca, taca, taca. El estudio de fotografía. En el apartamento hallamos una fotografía de una vileza cometida sobre una joven por un degenerado. Ya, Jonah ha dibujado el violador como referencia, vestido con un traje rojo y una cola. Jonah ha redibujado la fotografía de la violación que hay en el apartamento. En el dibujo ha retratado a una mujer encinta con cicatrices tribales. Ya. Y eso ya lo hicimos. Entonces, vamos viendo. El asesino de Mercurio y el ladrón de la galería son la misma persona. Estamos. Eso sí que sí. La intención del visitante podría haber sido localizar esa terrible foto. El ladrón quería la fotografía, fue al apartamento, robar la fotografía porque se encontró con el pintor y lo mató. Ya estamos. Vamos. Voy a hablar con la gente.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I don't trust men in fancy clothes.
¿Cómo soy? ¿Y dónde podría? Uy, vale. Ah, claro, pues puedo ir con ella. Vamos para allá. Perdón. Quizá que el hombre sepa algo.
I think I'll leave the exhibition in its current state for a while. I'll call it The Art of Vandalism.
No. ¿Dónde puedo preguntar por ella? La mezquita. Atalaya. Podría ser, pero no me pide que vaya a buscar información.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
How do you do?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I don't want my friends to see me talking to a spoiled money bag.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
May I ask for your assistance?
Don't think I can trust you.
Hermano, ¿quién me puede ayudar? Cicatrices tribales por la cara. Sugiéreme algo, pues viejo.
Oh, chap.
Maldito.
Help me, please.
I have a question too. Who looks an idiot in his fancy clothes? It's you.
A ver, el resto de pistas. Se supone que en el cuadro que se pintó era algo real. Y el compa que habló del cuadro. El cuadro que puede que robaran. Representa a una mujer a la que el diablo está violando. Ya, que es la parte de ahí. El diablo es rojo y tiene infinidad de colas. Forma parte de una serie titulada Noche de Sabbath en Cordona. Ya. ¿Qué más del cuadro? Nada más. Noche de Sabbath. Ta, 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 ta. Ta, 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 ta. Silverton. Noche de Sabbath en Cordona. Ya va a ser Road, hermano. Terrible brígido.
Help me, please.
Sorry, but I've never heard of it.
Can I ask you a question?
The streets won't share their secrets with those who hide in fancy houses.
Ah, que soy simpática. Simpaticona.
May I ask you something?
So, you think if you have money we should bow to
Nadie quiere ayudar.
No, sir.
Can I ask you a question?
The streets won't share their secrets with those who hide in fancy houses.
Cordona. Cordona. ¿Qué onda ahí? ¿Me meterá otra misión? Drinking Dutchman.
Did you hear another sight?
Pero yo creo que esto me mete a otra misao.
Do you know anything about this?
I'm not falling for your fancy look, sir.
Pero aquí todos se parecen, hermano. Ay. Todos son antipáticos. Mucha peña ya. Mucha peña, hermano.
Does this poster truly claim that Cordona has a ghost? Did you hear another?
Casa fantasmas, sí, pero no voy a hacer eso.
Come, let's continue on your quest for the truth.
Ya, tranquilo.
Beasts!
¿Qué pasó? Me metí en otro caso.
Murderers!
Campamento Refugiados. Esto de casa fantasma. No, chao. La mujer tiene cicatrices tribales y el único lugar en Córdoba donde la gente puede tener es Campamento Refugiados. Y estamos aquí, po.
They're completely livid. First they come to our land, then they murder our people.
Drop them all into the sea!
Where do you think you're going? Speak with the chief.
¿Quién es el jefe?
Murder! Beasts!
May I ask you something?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
I'm not sure I know. ¿Usted es el jefe?
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
Soy del ayuntamiento.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness for a case.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in.
And you are?
I'm Ronald Harlow, here to handle the refugee situation on behalf of City Hall. I'm the acting supervisor here.
Ya le he dicho que soy del
Here
ayuntamiento.
to ask you to leave, or I shall order the police to detain you for trying to pass the blockade. Please, step back.
Trabaja en interiores, no le da la luz. Intenta aparecer ayer con el bigotito. Quiere dar impresión de autoridad. Suda, está nervioso. Es nuevo. Es nuevo en esto, ¿eh? Es sedentario. Formalista, tiene un bigote raro que cree que le hace parecer mayor. Su palidez es la bolsa. Hecho de estado y oscuro, del que rara vez sale, aunque jugar por sus zapatos limpios, un poco gastado, no es alguien que salga mucho en cualquier caso. Joven oficinista que se esfuerza todo lo que puede por supervisar el campamento de refugiados que le han asignado al ayuntamiento. Ejecuta el procedimiento y ejecuta las tareas que le encargan. Sin embargo, carece de experiencia. Ya intenta parecer más mayor, dejándose crecer un bigote raro, su palidez y las bolsas. Un despacho mal iluminado del que rara vez sale a jugar y poco gastado. Depende de tener llevando ropa elegante, pero teniendo en cuenta el clima de Córdoba está fuera de lugar. Sus palmas sudadas sugieren que Ronald está sumamente estresado debido a que está fuera de su zona de confort. Esa es.
What about the murder that this crowd keeps shouting about?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
I know you want to deal with this in the right way. You are obviously a professional and a responsible person, but you clearly have never handled a situation like this before.
I am handling it, Mr. Holmes. Don't question my capability here.
And tell me how you do it. You can't even calm this gathered crowd, and as for the police, they're not quite managing it either, are they? You consider yourself a problem solver, but until today, you've been solving problems sitting at your desk in a dark corner of a city hall room. Here, you need a more practical approach.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
so it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Vamos.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every city hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
The police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the island, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
Está actualizado. Escenario del campamento de refugiados. Ok. Aquí más encima tenemos a nuestro personaje Ronald Harlow. Harlow. Ahora se me dejáis pasar, cochino Larry.
Isn't allowed to visit the crime scene these days.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside are so disturbed.
Media bola.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food
nos dijo
for
Chupatinta.
Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have
Ya
enough problems
tranquilo.
before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector.
¿Alguna otra víctima?
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's been questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp, and my superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity?
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
Okay.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body. 0.
Dinero?
£1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona.
Malpal.
Malpal, soaked with salt water.
Era obvio, guachín.
A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk.
Falta una mesa. Ahí tiene el tatuaje, guacho.
An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something?
Tiene carbón.
Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here.
El cojo, guacho.
A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers. Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping John.
Y de real se ve cojo. No, si queda uno aún.
I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however the wound is too messy to be certain. A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John. Can I ask you a question?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Ah, seguimos. Espera. 1, 2. 3. Que tengo un montón de pistas, hermano.
A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here.
Buena. Pero tenemos que seguir con las pistas entonces. Pista número 4. 4 por acá. Aquí hay pisada.
A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal.
Aquí voy a tener que recrear la escena, pero es la media escena, hermano. 5.
Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment.
Pero se lo rompieron, es obvio.
The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. It might have been used as an improvised weapon. No hint of blood or impact. Someone was dragged against their will. A man's footprint.
Yeah, hombre.
A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. Police boots. Always happy to trample evidence.
Siempre felices de pisotear las pruebas.
Clearly a left handprint here.
Creo que hasta aquí llegamos, ¿no? ¿Aquí qué hay?
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
No descartamos. ¡Ah!
If they find out about the
Dinero. No. Yo diría que sí, pero no. Vamos. Unos agentes policías están preocupados por si la situación con el cadáver acaba en un confinamiento estricto del campamento y pierden el dinero que gastan con sus ardides.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy here, Sherry. Perhaps we should sniff around in the camp a little more thoroughly.
Me he topado con dos agentes. John sugiere que indaguemos.
Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
De perro. ¿Sabes qué me faltan pruebas, hermano? YouTube.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified.
¿Y puedo salir?
Is this familiar to you?
Why should I care about your troubles when you don't care about mine?
Murder! Beasts!
Help me, please.
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Excuse me, just one question.
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Time to check your who, what and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what and dressed as what?
Vestido como me tinca. ¿Qué voy a hacer ahora? Uy, y me coloco él.
May I ask you something?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Are you able to help me?
Oh, I don't know about that. Ask one of the others.
This isn't working. You might need a different tack.
Excuse me, just one question.
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Are you able to help me?
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the
please.
answer.
Unfortunately, my casebook is empty on this.
Back off.
No one deserves to end up in a place like this.
Could you help me?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Y ahora vamos a hacer la shot completa, ¿no?
Just washed. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I'll use it to create a solution.
Hermano, what the fuck? ¿Cómo entró? Ya, este es para salvar al herido. Y este...
That will kill, not save him. It won't do any good.
Era esto lo que yo quería saber.
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs. Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates. I can use this to stop the infection from spreading. I've collated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Ya, vamos a salvar a este hombre. Vale, cacha esto. A esto le quita uno. Vamos al otro lado. Va a ser menos 3, menos 4, 5. Menos 3. Ya. Podría esta cambiarla, invertirla. No la quiero. Menos 4, menos 2. Ahí. Menos 4, 2. Menos 4, 5. Y ahora tengo que quitarle 4. No. Menos 4, 2. Tengo... A ver, ¿cómo hago esto? ¿Creí? Aquí lo que pasa es que si llego a 3... Necesito este y necesito... Sí, lo tenía. Eso era. Eso era. 2. No era eso. No me digas que era así de fácil. Tengo menos 3. Hacemos esto. 3 menos 4, 5. Una bestia, hermano. Voy a preparar una solución para limpiar la herida. Estamos.
Thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
Ya va a sobrevivir entonces. Y ahora necesito saber cómo el intruso entró al campamento. No, por ahí tampoco. Ya. Yo pensé que podría ir por acá. Soy idiota. Ese barco, había un barco ahí. Ahí está.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Mira aquí.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes, a brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
Estamos choclos, pero antes... Bueno, puedo hablar con él. Fome que no puede hablar con él. Es lo único que no puedo hacer, ¿cierto? Cierto. Vamos a partir por el principio de los principios. Ya, le pidió permiso. Permiso. Luego vamos al siguiente escenario. No, esa es la última. Ay, lo encontraron ahí. ¿Qué pista había aquí? Sí, pues te la llevaba arrastrando de allá. De aquí la saco arrastrando. Ni loco. Estaba arrastrando, este pum, le pega. Estos lo ven. No estoy seguro de esa, pero vamos a cachar. No, pero es que murió. Tiene que ser esa.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
No era nada así.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
Ya, entonces, secuestro fallido, el matón quería llevarse a una refugiada al campamento, los refugiados protegieron a la mujer y el matón intentó huir por su fucking shit. Lo único que se me ocurre. Y aquí... el matón fue al campamento, pero ese no era su objetivo, ¿vale? Persona entró, ya. No es solo un ladrón, es un perro que juega el papel que le toque. Brígido. Bang.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, The intruder managed to raise himself, but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clock can make any difference in this place?
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
Entonces, podemos hacer esto. Lo que nos pidió John. ¿Qué está ocurriendo en el campamento?
May I ask for your assistance?
They often take us from the camp to work. Most don't mind, though. It's the only way to get a glimpse of freedom.
Según los refugiados, unos personajes siniestros visitan regularmente el campamento y se llevan a algunos refugiados para trabajar. El trabajo suele ser duro, pero les dan dinero, comida a cambio. A la chica la violaron después de uno de sus trabajos. Desde entonces, los refugiados han decidido no permitir que las mujeres vayan.
Was that depravity in the photograph one of the workplaces the refugees are taken to? And all the while the police look the other way. Ugh, typical.
Could you help me?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Acá hay que preguntar por guachín. No había nadie. Le pregunté a estos dos. Los dos perejiles. Esta me ayuda.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Vale, churu.
Hello, Nayla? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Nayla, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
No te lo mandó a decir con nadie, hermano.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Nayla doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
Obvio que lo vamos a atrapar, por hermano. Pero John sugiere que sigamos indagando aquí en Benito. Tatuaje en intruso, eso lo vamos a ver después. Vamos a ver primero con esto. Ya. Oh, esta es la casa donde vivía, amigo. Mi comadre Neila.
Could you help me?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Help me, please.
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking, about what, and dressed as what?
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry, we don't see much here.
This isn't working. You might need a different tab.
Is this familiar to you?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Yo voy a los chorizos. Ya, pero filo. Racionalmente, pum. Las medidas como esas suelen concederse a oficiales de alto rango. Oh. De perro. Neila le dibujó. Ya, yo no puedo preguntarle a nadie más.
Are these the rations the refugees get from the authorities? How do people even survive out here?
No me responde no.
At least some of your kind have a hat. Thank you again.
Esa era una broma. Just era una broma.
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry. We don't see much here.
Ya, chao, lo siento yo. Ah, no, hay otro.
You still here? Go and bother someone else with this, son. Your problem, not mine. I've already told you all I've learned.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti,
you say?
A respectable businessman in Scalario. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
Yeah.
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads.
So there's a smuggling ring in the camp. This wasn't the first time that someone freely entered the camp to take a refugee out.
At least it was certainly his last time. My gut tells me that we'll learn more about this ring when we find out where the thug came from.
Buena, hicimos lo que pedía John, hermanita. Ahora tenemos que puro ir a investigar al agresor, a este cochino. ¿A dónde tenemos que ir? ¿Por qué no me deja ir?
Murder! Beasts! Murder! Beasts!
Ahora sí. Entonces tenemos que investigar sobre el tatuaje del intruso y sobre el agresor. Pero lo vamos a dejar para la próxima. Así que, chao nomás.